Hi Scorpio, hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for career/money and relationship for the 17th to the 23rd of January. Let's get right into this. We're going to start with career/money. So this could be from the money that you make or your partner makes, or that comes to you from another way, having to do with a lawsuit, a legal settlement, divorce, alimony, child support, that loan, selling your home, the stock market, anything like that. Alrighty, and then we'll do relationship. I'm going to timestamp for relationship in the description box below. Okay, let's get into this. Pull a crowning energy for your career. Sadness, what? Feeling bummed out about something to do with your career right now, Scorpio. That is what we're getting. Okay, so either you're not happy within your career, or you're not happy with something that's going on, right? This could have to do with any sort of lawsuit, also anything to do with like an inheritance, anything like that. Between worlds. Okay, so you guys might be sad because you may be between jobs right now, quite literally. Is how this could come up, or you are in between, feeling like you're very close to something but you're not quite there. We have Taurus, we have the moon, we have the second house of money, things that you value. Okay, so very interesting. Just thinking about the energies that you have going on, Scorpio. So right now we have the nodal energies. The axis is your second house, eighth house. So that's your money axis right now. Now you have Chiron in your fifth house right now. Chiron's all about healing. Fifth house has to do with your creativity. It has to do with many things, but it has to do with creativity is one of them. Also an entrepreneurial effort, something that you feel very passionate about, right? Now it's trining the nodes. These nodes are on your money axis, which is going to be like karmic healing at play here. So I kind of like this. And it's going to be sextiling this Uranus and Mars conjunction, which by the way goes exact at 6 degrees on, I think it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, like when the inauguration is going to be happening. Oh my God, Black Moon Lilith is involved. This week is going to be a hot mess energetically for the collective, but let's just focus on like how is it going to be focusing on each of you individually. So Scorpio, for you guys, that stressful energy is going to be happening in your seventh house. Yes, the seventh house is a house of partnerships. So it could be marriage, but it could also be business partnerships. Anyone that you have any sort of like legal binding purpose with as well. So right, so that's at seventh house energy as well. So while there may be some challenges in there, we are going to have Pluto conjunct the Sun in Capricorn on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday in your third house of communication. So there's going to be some sort of focus on transformation, changing, negotiating things happening right up till like Tuesday, but then on Wednesday it's going to be transiting into your fourth house of home, because the Sun ends up moving into Aquarius then to join Saturn, Jupiter, and Mercury. So there's going to be a lot of focus having to do with communication, having to do with a strong foundation, having to do with partnerships, right? And there's going to be the idea or the echoing of money involved in this, right? So that's sort of like your life. But now let's bring it into a more micro level. Looking at what we have here, I feel like you're going to be sort of in between negotiation having to do with something. So we have Taurus, and the reason I brought all of that up is because the Taurus energy, we have Uranus and Mars are going to be conjunct there. So they're conjunct now, but they go exact at 6 degrees, which is, Uranus is about revolutionary kind of energy. Mars is the warrior planet. So what I like here, and Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, is all about making us look at something that we don't want to look at. But because it's happening in beautiful Taurus, which is so earthy, and it's about things that we value, right? Because Taurus is the landlord of the second house of things that we value. Very necessary stuff is going to be coming up. Necessary. We're going to be talking about how we feel about stuff. Moon, our emotions. Second house, everything we just said. Second house is a Taurus house. Second house is the house that Taurus is the landlord of. Let's pull an astro card. Chiron, beautiful healing. Yes, beautiful. It's what I was just talking about, right? So for you guys, Chiron's going to be in your 5th house. So I like this because I feel like there's going to be a creative sort of strategizing to something. But there's going to be healing, 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 growth, amends, release, personal development. Beautiful. But with that is going to definitely come some self-doubt. So you just have to be prepared for that. But mixed in with that is going to be an element of forgiveness. So there's going to be some big energies going on for you here. All right. So let's pull a few Lenormands across and then we'll pull tarot for clarification. So we're going to pull for the situation going right now, the block, some advice, and then a final outcome. Home. Okay. You might have home on the mind, selling your home, buying a home, what you feel home in. Okay, we have patience. Ooh, okay. Good. You know what? I just want to say, I love that we got the Star. I love that we got the Star card as your first advice card. This is have faith. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to happen. Everything. It's written. Whatever's happening for you right now is already written. So, but patience will be the challenge here. Okay. Can't say I blame you. All right. So this first card we have is home. So home is that 4th house energy. Could have to do with your physical home, the people living in your home, the idea of home, moving, buying, something like that. Working from home could certainly have to do with that. Moving for work. But let's pull the cards and then we'll do the interpretation here. Definitely feeling the need to defend yourself right now. Right? We have that Mars and Leo energy. And you know, when we get that Mars energy, Mars is very, I would say like Mars is obsessed with making sure that we're on the right path, right? Whatever we're doing. So if you feel like something isn't right, this is like you putting your foot down. You're drawing the line in the sand and saying, no, look, this is what I want, need, and desire. This is what's right. This, you know. So some of you may actually be very engaged in that kind of work. You might be, you know, for human rights, or you might be the voice for people, you know, something like that could certainly be what you do for work. Some of you guys might be lawyers where you're defending somebody, certainly, but you could just be in this space as well of just feeling this need to defend yourself. We have the Empress energy, really nice energy. It's all about growth. So being very focused on this. Now in astrology, this is a Venus energy, total Venus, right? And what is Venus? Venus is not only money, but Venus is also self-esteem, feeling really good about being in something, our self-worth, our sense of self-satisfaction, doing something, doing what we love, but being able to grow in it. So I like this because, you know, you are defending yourself so that you can be able to grow in another way, bring something to a point of growth and expansion so that it could actually lead you into more, right? So we have this working with the Princess of Swords. So this does indicate a new cycle. Princesses indicate a new cycle, and swords are truth. So there's some sort of truth that's coming to light here. Some sort of truth. So defending, focusing on what you want, need, and desire, what's necessary to feel very grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. This could have literally to do with a home, working from home, anything like that. But it's also this defending. So I don't, you know, if it's some sort of lawsuit having to do with like divorce, maybe even an inheritance, settling things up in a business situation. But it doesn't seem like you're very happy about it, but it looks like it's going to be exactly what you need in order to move into this next phase. Now, the block here is your patience with the whole thing. You're having patience, feeling very blocked in your ability to feel patient about what's gone on. Yeah, I mean, we have the Magician energy. Magician is just like, can we just make it happen already, please? This is Mercury, right? Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini is like, come on, let's go, right? Having very focused creativity and really just wanting to put something into action, right? Mercury is also Virgo, because Mercury rules Gemini, communication, Virgo, problem solving. Let's communicate and solve this problem. Let's just do this already. And this is a challenge for you. And it's frustrating. That's why you're not feeling patient, because you feel like you're not able to resolve some sort of situation. And you're having a hard time finding temperance here with, either within yourself or with an individual that you're dealing with, having to do with money or having to do with something regarding finances. Because the temperance is all about balance and harmony. It's alchemical card. It's everybody getting their needs met. And there's a level of like patience and self-control that's associated with this. And again, this is your block right now. But temperance is also Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is moving forward in something, right? With integrity. Having a hard time being blocked. You can't move forward. It's like you can't move forward. Something's got to, we got the Tower. So something's got to end the way it is. Something's got to give. Something's got, either that agreement has to be squashed. But this is blocking you. The fact that something needs to end. So maybe you found out that some idea that you were working on is not going to come to fruition, and this is why you're feeling sad, and now you're like, now what? Obviously, this could have to do with losing a job, losing that account, losing that contract, whatever it is, losing that offer on the house, not getting the mortgage, whatever was working, you were feeling very anxious about it, waiting, and then it ended up not coming to fruition. But there's a reason it didn't come to fruition, because the first card in the advice column is that it's written the way it is. And we have this working with the High Priestess. You have to believe this, Scorpio. You have to trust this, right? The High Priestess is about trusting your intuition. But the thing is, all right, more specifically, what do you have to trust in? You have to trust in the fact that underneath all of what's going on for you right now, there's a bigger narrative at play that you may not be able to see. There may be a bigger narrative at play that you're actively creating for yourself. You might be doing a lot of brainstorming, really trying to get your ducks in a row, but you're not really talking about it. Because the High Priestess it's connected to the moon, and the moon is everything that's like underneath the surface that we can't see. We have this working with the Ace of Swords. Yes, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of newness here. I really like this, because the Ace of Swords is all about mental clarity, having this new idea. So you're definitely like nursing some sort of very good, positive new idea. And then we have Justice. And justice is about the truth of a situation, coming to light. So whatever you are holding in, whatever idea you've been nursing, it's going to come out. Okay. So, but this is good. As this ends up bringing a win-win solution to a situation. This is about cause and effect. This is being creative as well. Right, because the Justice's rule is a Libra energy, which is ruled by Venus. Now remember, the Justice energy is Libra, and Libra rules the 7th house of partnerships, even business partnerships, right? So, I like this, because this is like very solution-based, but in your favor. So something coming, everything happening as it's supposed to happen. Now, we have as the final outcome card, we get the Labyrinth energy. So this is really a good card, but it could be a little frustrating in that you're going to have to try different approaches to something, different strategies. Let's try this. No, that didn't work. How about this? No, that didn't work. But there's a level of confidence that you're going to figure it out, and you will, because eventually you are going to figure it out, right? You are going to figure your way out of this situation that you're in right now, which I really like. And then we have this working with the beautiful Strength card. Yes, I like this. This is about being really self-respecting, self-love, beautiful. This is a Leo energy, though, too. And Leo is that 5th house of creativity, of entrepreneurial spirit, of doing what you love to do and then taking that and you can make a business out of it, which is really great. It's more than that. It has to do with children. It's also, falling in love, love affairs and all of that. But, keeping it within the confines for the career, lots of creativity and bringing these ideas to fruition. So we got the Chariot energy, which is about leaving something toxic to go on a path that is serving you way better. Way, way better. And I love this because we have this working with the Princess of Cups, which indicates a new, this could be a new job. It's a new job offer. This is taking that idea and making it happen, bringing it to life. The cups is your emotional space, and the princess is this new, phase in your life. So it doesn't even necessarily mean that it's going to be a whole new job, but it could be handling your job in a different way. It could be anything from a new job offer to an offer to do your job differently, to you taking an idea and running with it and making it happen. Anything like that. If you're working some sort of lawsuit, having a new approach to the lawsuit and it going really well. So it does seem like there's going to be some strategizing and negotiating, but it ends up really, really, really positively. So healing necessary. Healing from the sadness and feeling like between things. So it does look like it's going to be a productive week for you guys, which is nice. Okay, so let's move it forward into relationship. Okay, let's see what's happening for our Scorpio friends regarding relationship. So we're going to start out with you first. How you're feeling about a person or situation that you're in having to do with love. So yeah, I mean, you might have a little, for those of you who are married, it might be a little challenging. Not gonna lie. I mean, but we have that Chiron in your 5th house of romance. So, there could be some problem solving energies here, as I mentioned before. See, I'm feeling confused. All right, so we're starting off with a little confusion here, right? We have the Hangman, which is Neptune. Not doing anything right now, kind of pressing the pause button on things, trying to get a different perspective on the situation, trying to gain some wisdom with a little pause in things. You want to be careful that this doesn't become like an analysis paralysis kind of thing, but it does seem like a little bit of a stepping back for a minute. Now, there's definitely some sort of romantic love partnership proposal that either you want to make or that you are making. But you really, I feel like you're very actively trying to get a very solid perspective on what to do. You're in a problem-solving energy right now, Scorpio, because we got Hermit. The Hermit is a Virgo energy. Virgo is that 6th house of problem solve. It's problems, but what is it? It's what everybody says. Virgos are very critical. Oh, they're critical in order to solve problems, right? That's exactly what it is. So it's going within for clarity, and you being on a quest for illumination and just what's the right thing to do. So I do feel like that. I feel like right now there might be a pause in your connection that you might be feeling right now. As the Hermit typically is like going it alone or being alone within when it's having to do with relationship, or this could even indicate you and a partner working secretively on something within your relationship that you're not disclosing to anyone. Okay, you feeling kind of confused though about what that even means. So, I mean, definitely, like, if you're confused about some sort of love affair that you're having in secret, you know, but you really have strong feelings for this person with this Ten of Cups energy, this is about total love and support. You know, that might be a little challenging for those of you who are in that space, you know, loving it while you're in it, but not knowing really with that Hangman energy what's going to come of it, just not being really too sure, not being clear on what the next step is. For those of you not in that situation, you can be in this pause situation having to do with the Hangman and Hermit, but what are you thinking about? You're thinking about an idea, trying to come up with a solution to propose so that you can move forward in a relationship in a really beautiful and supportive way. It's trying to problem solve. Now, what's blocking you right now is this Ten of Wands energy. Ten of Wands is the energy of overwhelm, right? I mean, that's the Ten of Wands. It's stress, exhaustion, feeling very burdened. It's like all of these burdens that seem to be in the way can be blocking you from being able to see things clearly, make a good decision right now, move forward in something, because that's blocking you. Also working as a block is the Page of Cups energy. So the page is a new cycle. Cups are love, and it's, you know, anything having to do with the heart space. So for some of you, this could be a new relationship, right? For some of you, this new relationship is blocking you. Maybe you met somebody new and you actually don't want to have feelings for them, but you do. That could certainly be playing out here, especially because we do have the Emperor energy with that as well. So, you know, this could definitely, because the Emperor can often, especially when it's with a Page of Cups energy, indicate somebody new coming in. So, you know, what is blocking the progression of this relationship forward is, you know, either you ended things as they are because you met somebody new. We have this book ending with the Tower. Or you feeling confused because the person that you're dealing with maybe ended things right now because they met somebody new. This could certainly be it as well. There are different interpretations of this, but there's definitely an ending of this cycle. This block and being able to... Now, if the Page and the Emperor do not have to do with other people, you know, regardless, this could indicate a new cycle and being able to go in and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this, 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 and this, right? You blocked in that ability. So let's say you're in a serious relationship and nobody's going anywhere. Nobody's thinking about anybody, right? But you know that there's something going on within this dynamic that is so stressful. It's so burdensome that it can't continue the way it is. And it's creating this block. But you can't seem to figure out how to take not even ownership, how to get like in front of the issue. Even though you're in the space of trying to solve the problem in the Hermit energy, you can't really figure it out right now. But what you're not seeing is that your whole approach might need to change. You know? Because the Tower can be an internal Tower moment, which means that the way you're doing something, the way you're working the relationship, your perspective, the way you're processing everything, it needs to be ripped down and rebuilt because it's not serving you anymore. If it ever did. But it's got to go. It's got to go. So what's blocking you has to go. Now, this doesn't have to be out in reality. Again, this could be them ending the relationship. There are many, many Scorpios out there, different ages, different stages. For some of you, this is going to be an ending of a relationship. For others of you, that would be ridiculous because you've been married a long time, right? Some of you. So ending of you know, the stage, absolutely. But not being able to figure out how to change. Oh, this is a real stuck energy, I feel. Real stuck. The advice. Judgment. A final decision. A wake-up call. Clarity. You have to look at it. So what I like here is that we have the Tower to get the Judgment. It's this recognition that, look, in the past, we all did what we thought we were supposed to do. We did the best we knew how in the moment. But right now, we have to recognize that that didn't work. This is all about the past. Pluto is about digging up the past. It's about recognizing what happened in the past, looking at it with the floodlights on, having great clarity, and making a decision to how something is supposed to be moving forward. We have this working with the justice energy. There's the truth coming out and coming up with a win-win solution, though. Justice energy is also Libra energy, which is the 7th house of partnerships, right? So really acknowledging how you feel, but also what your partner needs as well, what everybody needs. But this is this energy, though, right? It's like this balancing, and it's asking the big question here is the advice. Like the advice here is forgive the past for whatever happened. Understand that everybody did the best that they knew how. Look at the truth of the situation. How do you feel in it? How don't you feel? What needs to be addressed here? Because then we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords. 5 of Pentacles is not a comfortable energy, right? It's a very psychological energy, but it's this idea of feeling isolated and this idea of feeling the sense of lack in the connection and wondering if you even belong in it anymore. So you need to really ask these big questions. How connected do you feel in it? How well does it resonate with you still, Scorpio? It may at one time, but maybe you've grown. Because a lot of times with the 8 of Swords, it's like there could be this energy where, things don't feel the same to you anymore. They just don't feel right. And it may not have anything to do with the other person. It may be because you're processing the relationship differently now. Maybe you've grown. Or maybe they have changed. But whatever it is, these big questions need to be asked in the justice energy. It's about truth, and it's about addressing that within the relationship. You can't have the judgment energy without a lot of conversation. If something's going to work. I mean, sometimes you just have the judgment energy from a distance, right? You just have to forgive the person. Whatever happened. You got to get on with your life. You have to release so that you could heal. It doesn't mean forgive and forget. But there's got to be this element of like, all right, everybody did the best they knew how in the moment. But let's see what the outcome is. So we have the High Priestess energy. So the High Priestess, again, this is another energy that really brings to mind like working on something in private, right? You and your partner working on something in private that you're really not talking to anybody about. Very secretive energy, trusting yourself, is connected to the moon, right? So the fact that we got like 2 moon energies back to back, there's going to be stuff going on underneath the surface. Now, this might be you, Scorpio. Like, you might be in this space of just really not disclosing what it is that you are really feeling right now. And that may be the right thing to do for the moment. Because the High Priestess does indicate that. Whatever you're feeling in that moon energy, you might have to keep it under wraps because it's like in the process, right? You're trying to cook up some sort of solution to something. It does seem like. And it also seems like you're kind of confused. Look, we have the 2 of Swords. So it's time to compromise. You have to make a decision. You have to compromise in one way or the other. But a decision needs to be made. Because, the 2 of Swords, it's moon in Libra. So we have High Priestess, which is associated with the moon. We got the actual moon card. And then we have this in astrology. This is connected to moon and Libra energy. And Libra is partnerships. So could we have more moon energy? You are feeling, there is so much going on underneath the surface for you having to do with relationship right now. But you need to make a decision. We got the 9 of Pentacles. Very interesting here because this is about focusing on what you want, need, and desire. Focusing very much on your needs. The 9 of Pentacles is usually very focused on self-sufficiency, financial gain, solo pleasures. If it has to do, with money, if it has to do with just relationship, Pentacle being emotional, mental, physical connection, being very focused on what you want and need. So this is what I see the outcome as being. in your emotional space, you're very focused on what it is that you want, need, and desire. And that might be a challenge for you in that could get in the way of being able to see what your partner wants, needs, and desires, or being able to show up in that way. I feel this very sort of like, almost like a dug-in kind of energy from you. Not that you're closed-minded, I'm not suggesting that at all. Almost like very realistic. You're at this point where it's like, look, I know myself at this point in this relationship, and I know I'm not going to be happy unless A, B, and C goes on in this connection. Otherwise, we're just going to keep ending up back in the same old situation, right? So let's see what we have from, let me use these for the energy that you're dealing with. Energy that Scorpio is dealing with. Sun, rising, Venus. Subjective read, Scorpio, right? From their perspective. Devil. Okay. Remember with energy reads, they could always be vice versa. Energy doesn't understand where one person ends. The energies become very enmeshed. So we have the devil energy to start. This is where they're at right now. The situation for them. Now, they may be viewing you as the devil, or they may be the devil, and not the literal devil. That's silly, right? But think about the devil as any kind of imbalance. Well, what is the devil? The devil's Capricorn. Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about restrictions, no's, and shackles, right? Being shackled to something, right? So that's kind of what it is. It's being shackled to one way of thinking, or being shackled to one way of doing something, or something that creates a shackling of the relationship in a very imbalanced way. So this could have to do with addiction. This could have to do with greed, envy, materialism, obsession of some kind, sexual lust, if that's a situation here, but anything like that. It's not only addiction, right? And so they may be struggling with this, or they may be viewing you as somebody they may be dealing with this with you. Look at this. We have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is not an honest energy. This is about dishonesty and running away from something, betrayal. They could feel this way from you, or this is what they're doing to you. But the Seven of Swords, because it's a moon in Aquarius, it's a lot of times it's this energy where somebody could be wearing a mask. Wearing a mask kind of thing. Because the Seven of Swords is, what is a moon in Aquarius? Moon is I feel, right? And it's feeling in Aquarius. What is Aquarius? It's about the future. It's about trying to find a sense of renewal, trying to find that sense of hope, right? And being very lost in that, and just like not understanding what that really means. So what happens with that energy a lot of times, in the 3D is somebody will act as if, because they're not totally clear on their emotions. That's one way that it can manifest. Another way it can manifest, though, is by straight up like theft, betrayal, dishonesty, running away. Running away. And somebody not being who you thought they were. Really. It's like all of a sudden their mask falling off and you're being like, wow, But the situation for them as well is this Empress energy. So there could be a child involved, because the Empress does have to do with pregnancy, parenting, fertility, creation. But it's an abundance energy as well. So the situation for them is about wanting to grow in something. But the fact that we got the Devil and the Swords here, if you're dealing with somebody, all right, I want to just say this, Scorpio. You're dealing with somebody who's nursing some kind of addiction. This is common knowledge. Those of you who know even a little bit about psychology understand that addiction, real addiction, and narcissism go hand in hand. At least narcissistic tendencies. I am not making this up. This is what I learned in my educational pursuit, okay? So what you have here, though, it's such a challenging energy. It is. If you're dealing with somebody with addiction, they're being dishonest. But I feel like this is a person who wants to heal and grow with you, even though they have the struggle. So some of you are going to be resonating with it like this. It's like they can't even see their own stuff. They really don't. They don't. As we have these two very challenging energies followed by the beautiful Empress and the Star. The Empress is again, the mother of the tarot. This is straight up Venus. This is love. This is feeling good about something. The Star is, come on, we can heal this. Renewal, hope, inner clarity. I see things now. Have faith in me kind of thing. So, could be a little bit of a challenge there. Now, we have this starting with their blocks. We have the Seven of Coins as their first blocked energy. So the Seven of Coins is giving up too soon on something. Being kind of lazy with what they're supposed to be doing, you know. Just giving up. Just not putting the work in. Not putting the work in is their block. Now we have this working with the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords is the card of pain. Now this could be a third-party situation, for sure. So serving as a block. So maybe they have a third party or you have a third party and this is serving as a block, but it doesn't have to be. It's the card of pain. There are many ways we can hurt each other. So this just has to do with heartbreak, divorce, loss, depression. Maybe they're just feeling really depressed. This is a block for them. But feeling very blocked by feeling this betrayal, feeling let down, or they're the ones who are doing it. Now we have the Page of Cups. Another block for them is the ability to start a new cycle in the relationship, or the ability to even meet anybody new and start anything new. They're blocked in being able to start anything brand new. We get the Knight of Coins as another block. So they're having a really hard time putting hard work into something and being reliable. Even though it does seem like they want it. So we have the advice for them. The advice is, you know what? They have to make a decision. This is a lover's energy. You know, yeah, it's partnership, it's deep love, it's the strength of two together and all of that beautiful Hallmark stuff. And I hate to be like that, but you know what the lovers really is? They have to make a choice. The advice here is make a choice in this relationship. What are you going to do? Are you in? Are you out? Are you going to put the work in that's necessary or not? Because if they are, and you are, then you're going to have the blessing of Archangel Raphael, right? Which is beautiful. But there's got to be a lot of air clearing and a lot of honesty here. It's got to be a lot of honesty. Knight of Swords is an argument, right? It's an argument that it has to happen. Fast talking, coming in. This is what I feel. This is the truth. Da 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 da. And if this doesn't change, then not. And it's a necessary kind of thing, though. It really is. But there's got to be truth. We have this working with the Knight of Wands. So you might be dealing with a very lusty, free-spirited energy here. But there's got to be honesty about this. Knight of Wands, But the thing is, the Knight of Wands can also be a very beautiful energy, a very creative, somebody who's very passionate, somebody you're very attracted to. So, you guys are very attracted to each other. But an advice energy here, right? The Knight of Wands can indicate you need to create a different strategy in trying to work this relationship out. And if somebody within this connection does struggle with a lot of lusty tendencies, let's just call it that, there's got to be honesty about it with the Knight of Swords. There's got to be. And there's got to be a lot of honesty about where there's a sense of feeling unfulfilled, where there's an element of apathy, but also where there's finger pointing. Right, because the Four of Cups is also a finger-pointing energy. It's feeling unfulfilled in the relationship, right? And the advice here is you have to look at that. And I always give this, whether it's in the advice column or not, with the Four of Cups, because this is what it means. It means it's like this list. I can't be with this person because of this, 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 and this. And this is for them. This is the advice for them. So they can't be in the relationship saying, Scorpio, I can't be with Scorpio because they do this, this, and this. And I can't stand when Scorpio does this, this, and this. It's them needing to look at their own stuff and their own role in everything. This is not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just literally saying, like, no one is 100% to blame. They have to look at their role in what's going on. And if they don't like something that you're doing, why don't they like it? Is there any validity in it? What's going on there? They have to really look at their stuff. I mean, that's what the advice here is. Now, as far as the outcome goes, we have the Four of Wands, which is beautiful. Because this is about a strong foundation. This is a strong foundation. We have this working with the Death card. It's got to be changes. It's got to be an ending. There's got to be a moving on from the negativity, from the toxicity, in order for something to be rebirthed, if it's going to be transformed, if it's going to be, or there's got to be a complete movement forward and a release of whatever it is here, if they're going to have a strong foundation. But they have to make a decision here. We get the Two of Swords. They have to make a decision. It's time to compromise. No more this way, that way. Nothing like that. Final card here is we have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is a reconciliation card. This is a reunion energy. This is feeling very nostalgic. This is there being a gift in a revisit of something, which is beautiful. This could also just be a hearkening back to the past, trying to get back in touch with a more innocent time within the relationship. But some of them are going to be in the space where, you know, for them, they're going to be like, what makes me feel more firm? Do I end this? I have to make a decision and go back with somebody from my past, or do I not? And this may be a situation that the person that you're dealing with is going to be experiencing. I feel like I have to pull more cards. We have King of Cups, okay? Four of Swords. Ten of Wands. You know, the King of Cups is a great energy. It's very tolerant and very supportive and all of that. But, you know, is it happening? Because the action of the King of Cups, from an action point of view, right? Having to do with astrology. In astrology, the King of Cups is a Libra and Scorpio energy in astrology. Okay? So, yes, it's the king of the water signs and all of that. A lot of people always like, no, what are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. It's the Libra and Scorpio energy in astrology. So what is that? It's finding fairness in the transformation or change of the relationship. But it's also, in the meantime, figuring out what is needed and recognizing that whatever's been burdensome, whatever's been toxic up to this point has to be released. Otherwise, there can't be any like future for this. This is really like the point that I feel like what's going on here, Scorpio. Something's got to be addressed and changed. That is what I'm getting here. But it looks like, you know, if that could happen, it looks really good. But let me pull a couple of Island Time Wellness for you guys. This is some closing energies. Let's just get an idea and see. Boat, love call, clock, separation. So we have boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. This is moving forward. Then we have love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Clock, need time, takes time, in time, cycles, time to heal and progress. So the idea of time. And then we have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of the future. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's going to be some sort of argument. then some sort of somebody calling somebody here. This is about giving and receiving help. There being generosity offered here. We have clock is very sensitive to this idea of building, right? This is all about teamwork, collabing, coming together, having these conversations, but then there being separation, Ten of Swords, complete and painful ending, hitting rock bottom. So the thing here is, I feel like the energy supports there being this reconciliation and figuring things out, but it's like the two of you have to be on the same page, otherwise it's not going to be possible. Kind of complicated, I would say, my friends. But that is what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful in some way. Seemed like a confusing reading to me, but that's just me. And I'm not Scorpio, so I don't know. I don't have strong Scorpio in me, rather I should say. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.